When I first played HumanitZ, I wanted to make my own base, but nothing is more permanent than a temporary base. This time, despite how inconvenient it might be, I'll go for it no matter what. The only thing I want it to be is near drinking water. That way I can work on the base not having to worry about drinking water. This time I'll be going for a nightmare run. The difference between it and hardcore is that the zombies are faster, have more health, and do more damage. Oh, and there's more of them, being set at 2x. The bandits will follow the same rules as the zombies. Once again, I spawn in a random coast location, spawning in D5. I have two main objectives now: get my starter gear that I can obtain by following the tutorial quests, together with bows and arrows, and getting a working car. Being a mechanic, it shouldn't take me too long. I clear out the nearby house to get nails, and to dismantle a car in order to make a workbench. On top of a trailer, I find a pocket watch, then get myself a hoodie, as the night will be cold. With the car dismantled, I grab my scrap, acquire nails by dismantling furniture inside the house, and my workbench is ready to go. After chopping some trees in the area, I make myself 95 arrows, and 4 bows to go with it. Now I can move inland to search for a car that can get me to where I want to start my base. I come across a small trailer park as light fog settles in and night approaches. The game is not going to make this easy for me. One of the zombies drops a backpack for me, so it wasn't all bad. Thanks, game. Also, there is a truck I can start putting parts in. It barely has any fuel in it, but it's a start. Nothing a little bit of looting can solve for sure. I find a handsaw that will make things better until I make a table saw. But as night envelops the world, I desperately look for a water bottle. My first is already halfway down. And unless I find liquids, this is going to be a short run. I also don't want to sleep on my first night, to be able to get tired on my second night and be able to unlock the health tree. With the trailer park explored, giving me one last nice item, the exhaust silencer, I follow down the road, finding a little village. Gunshots echo the streets. Unsure if it's bandits or a trader, I approach carefully. Seeing the torch was reassuring, but what a beast he is! He just cleared most of the village. I trade what I can for 2 syringes, then start looting the place, desperately looking for a bottle, until a zombie gets the jump on me. Not that one. Oh, hi. Hi, hello, yes, Jesus Christ. I do land an adventure backpack, which is amazing this early in the game. Streamer's luck kicking in full force. Saying that, I found no bottles for now, having to drink a couple of energy drinks I found along the way. I start working on another car nearby, as it's convenient to leave my loot in it for now, and keep following the road. Coming across a Survivor SUV that I crack open with a crowbar. Be like, well, this is garbage, but some of them are just pure gold. Remember finding like 2 fuel canisters in one of these. Okay. Well, I swear this is not scripted, okay? Wow, 2 fuel canisters. Everything is coming together. I'm still missing a starter for the car and the water bottle, but I come across a junkyard that should give me what I need. Wolves are making a ruckus, but I take the opportunity to destroy the zombie locals and get some wolf hides for myself. A zombie and a wolf made a Congo line, making it a bit awkward for me. This is so silly. Okay. He'll run away with my arrow as a Timberwolf fashion. Thankfully, the Jeep had a starter, giving me a car. I drive back to the truck to pick up the exhaust silencer, facing my worst enemy, rocks. With the car acquired, I now move towards what is supposed to be my base location. Taking the time to check if traders have a drink for me. I am getting pretty desperate now, losing health due to thirst. Luck strikes again, and one trader has a can for me, but it won't last long. Another trader only has food, but I check the house behind them to find a Coke, and with that, my water bottle. We're alive! We're gonna survive this. Easy peasy, never worried for a second. I stop at the pond nearby, boil and cook, moving on to my base location. Along the way, I pick up a chainsaw, hammer, a tent, and some plasma, stopping in a house nearby to catch some sleep. After getting to the lake, I need to get ready. I can't just start a mega base from scratch. So I built some storage to empty my pockets. A couple of problems though. I can't make lockers yet, as I'm missing metal, and I'm not happy with the fact that grass can clip through the wooden floor. As such, building on top of the lake might be the way to go. I go out to search for scrap, but I'm trying to avoid combat as the night falls, ending up in the junkyard I cleared before, grabbing as much as I could carry, as the car is still full of loot. I build a workbench for the nails I'll need and another locker. Being late, I set up the tent and sleep under the stars. I finish my table saw as I'm going to need a metric ton of wood for this, followed by a campfire to boil water. After getting a few logs into the saw, I finish my second locker, emptying out the car. Then I put the chainsaw to good use to deforest the surrounding area, giving me a nice number of logs to start with. I process all the logs into wood and turn some of my scrap into much needed nails. Now it's time to build. This first area will be used for storage. I'll want it as close as possible to the entrance to make sorting out loot from the car as easy as possible. And I think because I can swim around here, zombies won't be able to attack the structure, but it remains to be seen. Next, the wall with some windows, leaving the door entrances to a kitchen, bedroom, and crafting room. I don't quite have enough wood for everything, but tomorrow is another day. My routine now is grabbing water to boil it for the day, chopping trees, and turn it into wood, being nearly finished with it around noon, finishing the storage room shortly after. Then I set up the floors for the next areas. I've learned the room that will be the biggest is the crafting room, and I'm having trouble deciding where to leave the stairs to the roof as I want to use it for defense purposes, but I don't want to lose storage space neither. With all of this building, my hammer is nearly gone, together with the scrap, as I used it all for nails. So after crafting arrows, I go out for scrap and stones, as stone hammers are the way to go now. Near my base, there is a bridge with metal waiting to be picked up. Well, after clearing it from zombies. I do try to sneakily get the metal without clearing the edge of the bridge, finishing it with a grapple kill to be able to carry more weight. Unfortunately, a screamer caught me, so I ended up getting more kills than I wanted. With that out of the way, all I need was stones, taking a nice stroll on the beach picking them up. I craft 3 hammers when I get back, finishing the layout I want for the base. And after we do this whole area will be crafting room, but I want to do a little bit more floor in order for us to make a pier in the back for fishing. And I think it will be great. Is it huge? God damn it, it is. After making 200 nails, I want to refill my water bottles, but try already making a base on your own like this. Wait, why am I floating. Wait, was I floating on the water? Wait. Wait. Did I break the game? I broke the game. This is not how you water. Oh, wow. Okay. You can tip a tire in there. Oh my fucking god, you can. Bro. I didn't realize that up until now, and I thought it was a bug. But lakes and ponds can freeze during winter, and that's what is going on here. Then it dawned on me. I need to rush. Soon it will be too cold to do anything, and I need a roof covering me to warm up. I focus on what will be the kitchen and build a stove to warm myself. Just in time as snow falls outside. The warm-up buff comes in clutch, and because the lake froze, I build the water collector as well. You can now tell the lake is frozen, which I never noticed before. Cool detail. To end the day, I moved the workbench and the tent inside. During the night, I collect a nice amount of water, and it's time for some looting, as I ran out of scrap metal for the lockers I want to make. It would be nice to find more tools and fuel as well, so I make my way to Arrington, the closest town. The local trader is fighting in front of the hardware store. I tried to stop in the parking lot, but the zombies trashed my car as I tried to kill them with reverse donuts, but as you can see, it didn't work out. I stopped the car outside instead, and as I'm trying to kill 3 zombies, the trader has taken care of the whole horde that was in the way. Nice! But he bit more than he could chew, getting too close to an hazmat suit zombie. I started looting the parking lot, when I get the classic double car alarm. Fantastic. At least I know the store is clear of zombies now, but all I got was a jumping cable. And 3 hammers. I feel like the game is trolling me now. Before getting into town, I grab as many gun parts as I can from a trader there. Before she goes in too deep as well, getting down by their biggest weakness, the hazmat dudes. The garages are my best bet for tools, like a hose and fuel. So I cleared the area, getting ready to bang on the doors. But then I was sent to the start position. Fighting these guys with the bow is not ideal. Oh, brother. Okay, that area is way above me. I take the opportunity to bring the car closer and collect my hard-earned prize. An AR-15 with a silencer, with an advanced gas mask, camo gloves. A new car as my current one is dying and has the same amount of fuel, a repair kit, a tarp and fuel, with a bit of ammo inside the gun start, but no hose, returning back to base. Having forgotten about the scrap, I unload the loot directly to the floor, as I need more wood anyway, not only for the base, but for more bows. Then it came to me. There's a skill behind the crafting tree that will make my life so much easier, reducing the materials needed for building by 50%. All I need to do is mine something, pick up the resourceful trait, then replace all the blueprints with new ones to half the values needed. Right, and instead of 10 wood and 4 nails, it costs half, which is brilliant. With a little bit of scrap and sheet metal I still have, I decide to sort out my inventory, as picking up from the pile is becoming a problem, after placing each item into their respective locker. Despite still needing more, I make a front door. That is useless without a lock, but at least it's there. Then finish the back wall, and as my hammer was dying, I start the roof. Using a good bit of cheese here. Every time you place a blueprint, the hammer loses condition. But if you're already placing a blueprint when it breaks, you can keep on placing blueprints for free, building as much roof as I can now. nearly finishing the base. The thing is, I want to use the truck for more wood, but it's nearly out of fuel, and I would like to get to a gas station before it ran out. Work out that well for him. Right, and there goes the last of my fuel. We're not that far. Yeah, but there it goes. Oh, boy. Luckily, there is a car nearby with fuel. I can grab my working parts and make the travel to the gas station. Anyway, there's zombies to be killed and the gas station to be conquered. I'm still hearing a lot of zombie noises in there. It's not reassuring. Inside, I find a funnel, crowbars, but still no hose. That's where we need to go, and I'm hoping there's a jerry can in there. Okay, let's gather them all up here. I'm hearing, I believe, bandits. This can work in my favor. I'm assuming the bandits will clear the zombies in the back, making my life easier. So all I need to clear is in front of me. It seems we cleared this area pretty fucking much. Hello, sir. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm so dead. Oh, I'm so dead. Oh my god, I nearly died there. Jesus. Hey, we're alive. Oh, God. Well, I got lucky there. The bandit left me with 17 health, so I need to be more careful in the future. With all my bows broken, I need to get close to the zombies to kill them, using a baseball bat I found on the bandit. It slows me down, but it will do the job. There is a jerry can, thankfully, enabling me to grab the truck, fuel it, and go back for the pump's fuel. After everything has been said and done, I'm left with a truck full of fuel, going back to base, forgetting yet again about scrap. In the morning, I go to Deer Fall Park, as the dense vegetation will make it easier to load the logs into the car, giving me enough wood to finish the roof. It is time to make my own bed, followed by a canning station reminding me I need scrap. Time to go and loot the whole town. But first, I must get rid of the locals. I grab the scrap metal, then I can loot the town. The SUV nearby has a propane torch that will be handy in the future, but as night arrived, and with some scrap in my pockets, I return home to build. I want this to be an easy-to-access crafting room, leaving everything in the middle and whatever supports each other close together. So the chemical station, guns bench, and furnace are left next to each other. I can't finish the furnace without concrete, but I'll find some eventually. The tailoring bench can go in the back, as I thought it would look nice, and the cement mixer next to the furnace because why not? The vehicle bench can be at the center, together with the melee bench. Then set up the radio in the bedroom, finishing the door in the back, confirming that you can't swim into the door. Can we, yeah, we cannot go back in. Alright. With half my day gone, I went back to town to try and find the loot I'm missing. Clearing it wasn't much of a problem, and while looting the place, something caught my eye. Is that a bulletproof vest? I think that's a bulletproof vest. Elite body armor. Oh, hi. Yes. We need this. Definitely need that. Nice. This is such an epic find this early. I also make sure I pick all the scrap I can. Find an alternator and the pressure valve. Another amazing find. Together with the padlock, enabling me to secure my base. It's late and I'm full. but I want to find the hose. At that moment, sleeping in town and finishing it tomorrow felt like a good idea. Basketball sure will come in handy during summer. And as I need electronics, I dismantle some TVs as I go, until the last zombie in town goes down. There is silence, no more groanings, yelling, or gurgling, just the sound of rain. I can loot the last 2 houses and the shed, then leave. One of these houses. Oh, power lead. Oh boy, do we need an axe? We got a chainsaw, so... Oh, that guy's stuck, hopefully. The jump leads, I think we got him. Okay, I'm being surrounded. The game throws a heart at me. I have zombies all around me, but I was lucky enough to realize it before it was too late. They weren't here a moment ago, and they are now. It was just made specifically for us. This is the last house. We got a metal pipe. More fight. Okay, I need to get out of here right now. Fuck me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, a zombie horde followed by a freaking bandit raid. That was nasty, game. That was fucking nasty. Once again, luck was on my side. If the raider didn't start shooting so far away, I wouldn't have had a chance to fight this shotgun with my bow. But with space between us, I get the upper hand. A close call, but a reminder I must rush guns as soon as possible. I just need cement. Freaking pump shotgun. Ooh, armor 3. Yes. After getting my blood pumping, I chill, sorting out my loot. In the morning, I notice the meat is going off. Being old, it can give me food poisoning, but a dog would eat it no problem. So I go to the scrapyard. I saw a doggo as I passed by here during winter, but being winter, I didn't want to risk having another mouth to feed. I present to you dog meat, suggested by 4, as he's playing Fallout 4 now. All the scrap cars are also collected, going into my Make an Armor fund. Speaking of, let's start building it. The last thing I want to build now is a pier to do some fishing, but I must destroy the wall before I can build more flooring. Well, that's done. But how about some fences to make it health and safety regulated? Perfect. And turns out that was another useless thing I made, as I could have fished from the upper floor as well. After fishing, I place the armor on the car and drive to Lake Green. I wanted to check if I could find a better bow at the shop, but got distracted by a trader with a power lead, leaving it for tomorrow. I grabbed the It's Not a Cure skill, producing 2 syringes and 2 infection inhibitors just in case. Then grabbed my shotgun and shells as a backup for fighting. It's not that many shells, but it might save me. I complete a quest nearby for a dude that wanted 8 shells, and he ends up having a hose, which is great news for me. Then onwards to yesterday's goal, the Sport Goods shop in Lake Green. There's quite a few zombies there, but between my shooting and dog meat stunning them, we make it quick work. Yes, you stun them and I shoot them. No, don't bark at him. Bite him. Alright. Unfortunately for me, there was no bows in the shop, going back home empty-handed at night. Not being happy with my day, I call a trader, grabbing everything he has, namely the military helmet, AWM, and the 5.56 bullets will be handy soon enough. After equipping a silencer to the AWM, I take it for a spin on a farm nearby, finding a ohms and watts on the survivor, unlocking generator building for me. And on a nearby house, the generator engine. Nice! With this, I have all the parts I need for the generator, powering up my base. Now, whether I find some cement or an electrical cable, I can start making ammo. Then, my first raider shows up. He is confused about what to do, as he can't find a way inside. But I also have the problem of not being able to shoot him. So we end up having a standoff using one of the windows. As that was awkward, I build more stairs all the way up to the top so I can shoot whatever comes in from a safe position. Let's see if this works. At this point, I desperately need more gas, making me go to a nearby gas station. Without thinking too much about it, no scouting or anything, I jump straight into the middle of it. There's definitely people that like that. Oh wow, I nearly got done there. Why are you still coming? Okay, they got distracted with the doggo. I swear to God, I will use my shotgun. You know what? At this point, maybe bringing out the shotgun was a mistake. Oh yeah, it was a mistake. How am I bleeding? Oh, it's the wolves. We're good. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. No, this is absolutely fine. It's under control. They're all in the back. Look at how many there was. Okay, the zombies are coming back to this area now. I don't want to explode that guy because it's just going to attract all the ones that are still in the back. This is a lot of zombies. I'm not too sure how to tackle this. I'm trying to think if I should make a little bit of noise and then explode this guy. This guy's not going to be enough for them all. Oh, there's my noise. And my bow is nearly dying. They only got 2 more bullets. Oh shit, I missed. I'm out of stamina. Uh-oh. No! Oh god, the dog saved me again. Uh, 45 stamina, this should be alright. Oh my god. Well, I'm getting the full nightmare experience for sure. And now they're all going back to the goddamn wolf that's like half a mile away. Wow. Biting more than I could chew, I go back home to grab the 5.56 bullets and the AR-15. Together with the AWM, this should do the trick. Penetration power, but you need to stop reloading at each shot. That's what you need to do on the bow. Nice. With more firepower, the job was done. And now I'm ready for my prize. Well, that sucks. I nearly died for 79% of a jerry can. This doesn't bode well. This will barely take me to the next gas station. But I must go. After a night's sleep and making more arrows, I drive into Arrington. There's a lot less zombies than I expected. But then it made sense. They were all clustered chasing a rabbit, or so I thought at first. Turns out the trader ran on top of the van and I mistook him for a zombie as he was hunched over. Your sacrifice will be remembered.
Oh, they're going insane now. Oh, it's another one.
Only the big guy survived the 2 explosions, so after taking them out, I managed to fill up my truck to full. This gas station had more fuel than the last one, together with whatever cars were around. With that done, I drove around town and I spot a construction site. After performing some vehicular manslaughter, I finally get my hands on the cement I needed. Rushing back home to get my furnace ready. Now, all I need is to mine. I craft the flimsy pickaxes and mine away for the day, having to make more pickaxes along the way as they break. At night, I start my bullet and iron production. In the morning, I'm forced to go out for more wood, but I find the second bear of the run, enabling me to make a bear coat for winter.
I don't know. Oh, I got him. I got him. Last shot, we got him.
I'm starting out its meat when this happens.
Holy shit. Okay, bad news, and I left my door open. I don't think I'm kidding them. God damn it. Oh, sheesh. Alright, that's another one down. Hacker magazine, nice.
This is what happens when you forget to lock your doors. All the mining left me with little fuel, so I go to another gas station to acquire more. This time, with guns, everything just goes smoothly. Ending the day looting the town. As an honorable mention, I did manage to find all the fridge parts. I now only need electrical cable, and I can build my own fridge. I go mining for another day, leaving me low on fuel yet again, but this time with more than 500 bullets in my pocket, forcing me to go into another fuel run. This one a little bit more chaotic. It started with having bandits in the area. I go around the gas station and pull all the zombies towards them, and then finish this first group myself.
Okay, the guy is down.
As I approach the gas station, the coast is clear enough. I get my gas and then decide to loot the place a bit, finding a sat-nav. Everything was alright until this moment.
No, he screamed. Bastard.
Oh. Well.
That's my suppressor gone, and we're calling all the zombies. Now it's a party. It went from a scream to an absolute mess. Oh my god, look how many. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a right mess. Maybe I don't need to go and check it. Maybe I don't need to go and check it. We'll try and lose them and get out of here. Even with ammo, even with everything going and etc., I'm still running for my life. I decide to go for a nearby warehouse instead to try and find something good. Finding a key item for later, the industrial fuse. Winter is coming, and I equip myself with what I have, having to wait another day for the bear coat. It is time to go to the airport area. I first loot the military camp at the entrance, finding some good stuff like more ammo and the Scar H, but as night fell when I get to the warehouses, I deploy the tent and sleep through the night. I then spend the day clearing out the place and looting. I did find a lot of good stuff, but the biggest find was the electric cables, enabling me to make a fridge and a cement mixer. With snow falling, I place all the rain collectors I had tarps for, and after charging up a battery on the newly placed battery charger, the fridge will now keep my food fresh for longer. I get around to start farming. Even though it's winter time, it will gather water now and be ready for springtime, planting potatoes to possibly make fuel. After doing a fuel run, I decide that it's time to do some quests. Sleeping under camp next to a fire due to my concerns over fuel. I was asked to clear a local church, using the last of my ammo to do so, having me do some mining for another day. The car is packed with loot. Enough ores to make 500 bullets, but I notice an airdrop has arrived, and I want to start gathering the hazmat suit parts. Against my best judgment, I go to it, finding it crawling with bandits. I'm confident though, as I managed to trade some 7.62 ammo along the way. I am rewarded with a hazmat jacket, filling up my backpack and becoming encumbered, preventing me from sprinting. After all, I'm going home. What's the worst that could happen? Yes, attack the zombie. Leave me alone. Well, I'm gonna have to kill you both, but we might have to do
so silly.
Everton like this without suppressors, because I don't have any more suppressors.
Yeah, that's
Run away
just
with my
noise
arrow
from
as
this.
a Timberwolf fashion from this rifle. Ay, yay. Leave my table saw alone. Attack, dog meat. Attack. Good boy. That sounds like bandits now. Sheesh. What have I done? No, I prefer the AWM. Doing... Why is there more bandits here? What have I ever done to you? Alright, let's see. And they can run. Cannot even loot him. Where he is at the moment. That guy was on his last breath. And he was still trying to come for me. Fuck. Oh, there goes my silencer. I cannot. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, God. Oh, not like this. Not like this. No, I'm dead. Oh. Fuck. Oh, that fucking silencer died in the worst possible time ever. Oh, God. Well, rest in peace. Now, the question is, should I do a video about this or not? Because it's done. It's done. It's literally done. I just need to do whatever the gameplay was today. And it's not going to... The problem is, it's not a 100-day video, so people simply don't click on it. I ended up doing the video anyway. I might have to change how I do these videos because, as you saw at the end, my GPU can't keep up with the zombie population and struggled to record what was going on. I had more FPSs than what you saw, but couldn't keep up with the recording. Anyway, sorry for the way it ended. I hope you enjoyed what the video was, and I'll see you next time. Bye!